Yeah,
See,
meanwhile, hey YouTube, how's it going? Hey!
hey,
I was
YouTube.
gonna do the whole episode like this, but since I have no mechanism for holding the headphones up without my head being in between them, I wasn't gonna do that.
Wait, you're not gonna get two like balls from somewhere in the
Oh
house
my
and pretend
fucking
they're your
god!
eyes?
Yeah.
Do you have any skulls laying around?
When the least terrible part of an episode is when the Three Stooges get together, it's a really special episode of Buffy the Who the fuck is writing the show?
Oh.
You know? Anyway. We're live on YouTube. I'm double checking that we are recording the things I need to be recording. We are recording them.
Yay.
And Kim's going to hop on a little later.
Yay.
So she said we can get started. I think she's getting away with not watching, with not participating entirely in this awesome episode.
How convenient.
How convenient indeed. All right. Steph?
Yes.
Anytime you're ready, we can go ahead and start.
I'm ready. Now.
Sure.
Do I go now? You're listening. Okay, here we go. Okay. You're listening. No, that's not right. Hold on.
Yeah, it is right. It's
Yeah,
you're
it
listening
is.
to PotentialCast, Season 6,
Yes.
Episode 11.
Okay.
Buffy
All right.
is disappeared by the vanishing ray, and it's a shitty episode. And then I hit the music.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Read the official description. Go.
Okay. You're listening to PotentialCast, Season 6, Episode 11, Gone. As if a visit from a social services worker concerned about Dawn isn't disturbing enough, this is a terrible sentence, Buffy is accidentally hit with Warren, Andrew, and Jonathan's invisibility ray gun.
Mm-hmm.
That's the description. Wow.
Yes, that is the description.
My name is Stephanie.
This is Gabby.
Kimberly will be here later, and I'm Illyrio.
As you can see, I also have been hit with an invisibility ray.
Hey, look at you.
Yeah, oh my
Don't
God.
look at you.
I hope I don't turn into pudding by the time this episode is over.
Tapioca-y.
Ew. Ugh. Yeah, so.
Yeah. So I thought that instead of talking about this episode of Buffy, I could just regale you all about my basement renovations.
Okay, because that'll be way more interesting than actually talking about this episode of Buffy.
Yeah, but this isn't the Chatterbox, so we can't discuss home renos and how I'm sexually attracted to styrofoam insulation. So that's not happening right now.
Mm-hmm.
What we are going to talk about, though, is... Oh, hi, this is PotentialCast, where we talk about Buffy, the Vampire Slayer, the TV show. Gabby and myself and Kim haven't watched this before. Stephanie has, and it's an intro cast, and it's awesome, except I'm not feeling the awesome the last 2 episodes. Am I alone?
No.
No. Let me read you some, I got some trivia here about the episode.
Trivia.
All right, it's written and directed by David Fury.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
All right.
Really?
Number 1, yeah.
Oh, because it should be better than this.
All right, 24, Fringe, all that good stuff. All right. As Buffy was leaving the social services office, she could be heard whistling, going through the motions.
I didn't notice that. That was cool. I saw that in the
Yeah.
Facebook.
Yeah.
Oh.
When Buffy shows up at the magic box invisible, Xander asks her if she's been feeling ignored, and Buffy responds that this isn't a Marcy thing.
That I noticed, and I thought that was good.
Yeah, season 1, episode 11. Yeah, I like the little callback.
I understood that it was a callback, but I couldn't remember specifics. I'm so dumb.
Yeah, Sarah Michelle Gellar cut her hair in the episode Gone, which caused a lot of internet discussion about her new do. Personally, I think the show is way above the issue of the length of the lead actress's hair, but here we go. Plus, why is it that every time Anya changes hair color and style, no one says a thing, but as soon as Buffy cuts her hair, everyone makes a fuss about it? The main thread of the hair discussion was how Sarah's new haircut would affect the ratings of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. The reason for this discussion was that Kerry Russell, the title character in the WB show Felicity, had cut off her long curly hair between seasons, which executives later blamed for Felicity's fall in the ratings. They then enforced a no haircut policy.
No boy.
Oh, wow. Wow, really?
God, it was just
I remember
a bob.
Felicity. I actually remember watching that while I was on the air, and I was like, this show's kind of, I like it, but I don't like it. And then when Kerry Russell showed up with her hair all cut, I'm like, by the way, is she the one that married Harrison Ford?
No. That's...
it was the other skinny one, right? Callista Flockhart.
Right.
Yes.
But now he's with a Nubian goddess, is that correct?
I don't
Or am I thinking of Robert De Niro? Regardless.
David Bowie?
Ooh, Iman. She's actually from Nubia. Iman is from the Sudan. Yeah, so, haircuts, controversy.
Yeah.
I never.
Okay, Ellen Hampton's cameo. There is an unconfirmed rumor that Ellen Hampton, the wife of writer-director David Fury, appeared in Gone in the scene at the social services office. She's the woman who stares at Doris, acting strangely. Aaron and David co-wrote the episode Go Fish together.
Oh, Go Fish. So, Corbin Burnson's secretary from LA Law was on this episode. Yeah. Remember the episode where they had sex?
No.
Yeah, they had sex on episode. I should not have been watching that show while it was live on the air. I was a child.
I didn't watch it.
I just remember the episode where the old people were licking frogs to get high.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, here's a piece of trivia about her. Susan Rattan, who played social worker Doris Kroger in Gone, appeared as Roxanne in LA Law from 1986 to 1993. Susan appeared alongside Clea Duvall, Marcy Ross in Out of Mind, Out of Sight. In the movie Helter Skelter about Charles Manson, Clea played Linda Kasabian, the key witness in Manson's trial, and Susan played her mother, Mrs. Kasabian. Okay, here's something hot and juicy. Marty Noxon says about this episode Gone. The bit when Spike seems to be by himself when in fact he was having sex with the invisible Buffy was something that Joss and David got all excited about, whereas I was like, ew. It was disturbing to me. It still is. It just shows you that even I have my limits. We also got some criticism that the trio wasn't frightening enough, but I wasn't.
No kidding.
I wasn't really hip to that. We just thought they were so funny. Maybe they amused us more than did others, but we thought their motivation was so interesting. I think what people are objecting to was that there wasn't a particular momentum that season, like, here comes the big bad. Maybe we were being a little more experimental. I think we just were tired of running the same scenarios, because you can only say the worst thing ever so many times before you start feeling like the biggest liar in the world. So the whole season was structured differently from anything we'd done, and I enjoyed that.
Well, somebody had to, because it's not me. I gotta tell you.
They up the sexuality in this season quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
To the point where I was actually a little bit uncomfortable a couple moments. I mean, yeah, I understand that Spike is all hot and heavy for Buffy, but did they really have this much like heavy petting on TV? I know I sound like I'm from the 50s, but he's reaching down and she's having a reaction like he's grabbing her crotch, you know?
Mhm.
It's weird. It's weird to see that on TV. It would be weird to see that on TV now unless it was like HBO and it's like a brother and sister doing it in medieval times. Uh, uh, but by the way, fuck you, Theon Greyjoy. Fuck you. Oh, Buffy's cutting her hair. So the idea of that is weird and off-putting, and the three idiots don't. I really. I want to apologize officially for anyone who listened to my commentary. I don't think I could have been entertaining in the slightest with all of the and that I was doing.
Were you like puzzled?
This was, you know how J.J. Abrams is doing this charity auction type thing where if you donate money to this charity, you automatically enter to win an extras role in the new Star Wars movie, and like you're going to appear in the film, you're going to visit the set.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting to me how I get the impression that they awarded someone a prize of writing part of Buffy in this season because it feels like it's written by someone who knows what the show is about, who's very familiar with the show, but who's like, I don't know, I saw this story on an episode of Sabrina the Teenage Witch, let's put that in here.
It feels like fanfic sometimes.
Some of it feels like fanfic. You're absolutely right. Absolutely right. Absolutely right.
It's poor show running.
Let's have the gang forget who they are. Oh, that'll be awesome. Oh, let's have one of them be invisible. Oh, that'll be great. Oh, let's have your after school special drug episode, but it's Willow and Magic. Oh, that'll be great. Like, it's weird.
Yeah.
It's really weird. It
it's
feels
just like
it's.
It's just like most shows, though. Most shows do this. The originator of the show leaves to go on to do something else, and they make somebody else the showrunner, and they're just not as good a showrunner as the original person was. Yeah. It's that shows don't really need to go on for 6 and 7 years. They need to, 3 or 4 years, really. There's only so much. Like I was talking to Morgan the other day about creativity. I don't know who we were talking about. A director, a writer. Oh, Wanda Sykes. That's who we were talking about.
Yeah.
Morgan was like, she's not funny. She's not. I said, she used to be. I think that people only have so much in them. Or either
you're referring to Spike right now?
What?
I was trying to make your completely non-sexual comment all about sexy time with a vampire and an invisible chick. I think you're right. I think that there are moments where, I mean, look, if you take the example of the New York Police Department's 99th Precinct, the one on 6th Avenue in Brooklyn.
Yes, I'm familiar.
And you had Detective Jake Peralta, who had a slump. He had a slump there for a while, and then he fell out of his slump. And I think this might be the Buffy slump.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm feeling like, let me see. I'm gonna try to explain this as coherently as possible. I watch a lot of Disney Channel.
Oh, yeah?
I do.
Really?
I really do. In particular, I'm a big fan of the cartoon Phineas and Ferb.
Oh, by the way, my children started watching that.
It is hilarious, and you need to watch it in
funny.
order because there are seriously some things that carry on through the series that'll be in the background. It's amazing. But
awesome.
Anyway, so the trio, to me, they don't feel ominous, and they don't scare me in any way. I'm not feeling like anything bad's going on. They are basically Dr. Doofenshmirtz. And what they created in this episode is a make you invisible-inator. Because they're comical.
Did they buy an enormous snow globe that they're now going to have to return?
Yes. But the only problem is they're as comic as they are, Doofenshmirtz is still funnier.
Mm-hmm.
They're sad and pathetic and a big waste of my time. And I'm done with them, and I want them gone. There.
Well, my problem with the episode is Buffy's humor, it's out of character for her.
Yes!
She doesn't act this way. She's more serious than this. She's not goofy.
Oh God! I mean, thank you for saying that, because I mean,
the scene in social services was weird.
For the eyeballs thing with the little balls, and then the talking with. I mean, it was ridiculous and goofy, and then the smart-ass comments, and the girl with the terrible hat, and then taking the car, taking that.
Yeah, and I really appreciate the fact that we have ended this arc of Buffy is having a
existential crisis.
Existential crisis, and she has made this arc, and we are at the end of it. Thank God. But
that's a spoiler, but boy, do I welcome this spoiler.
Well, she says it at the end. She's.
Oh, did she?
Yeah.
Oh, I think I may have stopped paying attention at a certain point.
At the end, she realizes that she doesn't want to die. She wants to be there. She wants to be present. She's tired of not being present.
Don't want to die.
But another thing that rubs me the wrong way. Well, the other thing that rubs me the wrong way in this episode is it's have some self-respect, Buffy. I mean, it's pathetic that you're have sex with who you want to have sex with. Don't give in and have sex with somebody you don't want to be with, and you make yourself feel terrible. That's not healthy.
That's weird, because I kind of see it in a different way, where I see it almost like the opposite, where it's like, she keeps saying no, it's like the mouth keeps saying no, but the eyes keep saying yes. And then she keeps going back, but now she's invisible. Ooh, she can do whatever she wants, and now it's okay to be able to do this, because nobody can see her. It's weird. It's weird. It's weird. It's weird. It's weird. It's weird. She's acting so out of character, and this was so bad. And then the goofy, quirky music through the whole thing was off-putting. And then even like the sets that we've seen a million times that we know and love, it must be because they're different now, because the different channel they're on, but they seem to look a lot different. They almost look sitcom-like to me. It's strange.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And another thing, the worst decision in the world is to have a fight scene between invisible people.
God.
That is not
yeah, that was terrible.
Oh.
That was absolutely terrible.
Was this supposed to be funny?
I think it was supposed to be funny.
And like a palate cleanser from all the serious drama that's been happening? I can't even say that without obviously laughing.
Yeah, I know.
What? It's in this episode, I mean, I've been dumping on this I'm dumping on the show for a few episodes now, and I'm pretty sure people are sick of hearing me shit on it. But this episode just seems to solidify to me that it's like, our show has gone off the rails. What the fuck is going on?
Hey, Kim, how's it going?
Okay, how you guys doing?
So, welcome to Bitch Fest 2014.
Again?
Sorry we started without you.
Oh, that's okay. I quite literally just finished the episode about 3 minutes ago.
How dirty do you feel?
I just want to say that I'm going to say this is my least favorite episode of all time.
Yay!
That's very diplomatic of you. I
Yeah.
recorded
No.
a commentary track for this episode, Kim.
No, there were
There
were some funny
I tried
bits.
to comment, and I was realizing kind of halfway through, I'm like, I'm not saying anything. I don't like this episode. Why did I?
Like, were you watching it like gobsmacked? Like, really? This is what's happening right now?
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
most of
It
my
wasn't-
commentary was mostly
Like, there
drawn
was-
for.
Like, there were some funny bits. Like, I was like, oh, there's the one-liner of the episode, but I was not impressed.
Yeah.
But still somewhat entertained.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Explain.
I don't think I was entertained. I mean, if I were totally hot for James Marsters, I would be entirely entertained.
That stuff was pretty
Because you
funny.
got lots of shots of his abs, and he was doing pelvic thrusty things, you know. But
That
all
was
of these
kind of weird.
visitors-
That was kind of uncomfortable to watch, really. But
There was so much invisible stuff. It was terrible.
yeah.
Here's how the episode should have gone. Buffy becomes invisible, and then it's about everyone else trying to figure stuff out. We don't follow Buffy along during her hijinks.
I think it should have been. I thought it was going to be Buffy's invisible, and then she finds out what everybody really thinks about her because she can eavesdrop on them.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
But no,
No.
like the stuff with the social worker thingy, I was like,
Yeah.
okay, really? Like I knew it was going to happen. Like, oh, she's going to make her like she's the crazy one. And I was like, really? Come on. I get it. I get it was supposed to be funny, and I'm sure if I hadn't watched the show and had no idea what was going on, and maybe I would have laughed harder, or maybe, but
Maybe.
I thought it was really lowbrow.
It was terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was so
So-
nervous because I was like, oh, I gotta rush home to watch the rest of this episode
Oh,
because we're
yeah,
recording tonight.
totally.
And then I was like, really? Oh.
It's kind of lame.
Anyways.
I can't wait for us to be done. I have a run to go on. I have dinner to have. I'm all alone renovating my basement. It's really fantastic.
Oh, nice.
It's really great.
Are you gonna build up your
Yeah, I
studio
get to
some
watch as
more?
much Netflix as I want. Pardon?
Are you gonna build up your studio some more?
No, my studio is here. I'm making a family room. Had the plumbers in today and replaced some copper piping with some Wizbo. Wizbo is awesome.
What's Wizbo?
It's plastic piping and it's fantastic.
Oh, nice.
And it takes like a fifth of the time to install. It's less expensive. It's more durable.
Lovely.
And, yeah, that's enough of this old basement segment. Gabby mentioned that she thought it felt like fanfic. Would you agree, Kim?
100%.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
I think it's a perfect expression of what I was trying to describe, which is someone's writing the show who knows what it's like and what it should be like, but they don't really have any good ideas. But I think fanfic really properly describes a lot of what we're experiencing in this season.
Is it because we've run into these series at this time? They're 22, 23 episodes, and they have to fill those 23 episodes. So instead of having like maybe 16 or 17 solid good episodes this season, we have to deal with this filler because they're...
It isn't just filler; it's bad.
Well, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like,
And it's weird.
Yeah, this episode, David
it's
Fury's
weird.
voice is very, it's loud. That's what I'm trying to say. His voice of his writing, it's very him, and it's kind of corny. Kind of
Kinda.
corny. It is corny. Okay, it is corny.
ugh.
But and that's what a showrunner does. Is supposed to take an individual's writing and make it more the voice of the show.
Mhm.
And it's not the voice of the show. It's the voice of David Fury.
Hmm.
Loud and clear.
So he's a goofball? Is that what we're saying?
Yeah, he was a comedian,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what brought
was
him
he?
to Hollywood, yeah.
Really?
I don't think he, I think
That's very
that's what his
interesting.
background is, like maybe from college, but I don't think he was ever really performed,
Mm-hmm.
except, here and there on Buffy.
Yeah, well.
Yeah. We have a voicemail. Hold on, what's going on here?
So the
Sorry,
episode was written and directed by
I'm
David
trying to
Fury,
download
right?
something quasi illegally, and I'm trying to close all these pop-ups. Sorry, Kim, can you say that again?
Was the episode was written and directed by David Fury?
Yes.
What other things has he done?
24, Fringe.
Okay, yes. Because the name is familiar. I'm not like okay. Which is funny because 24 and Fringe are very serious.
Yeah.
And
Right.
like, okay, all right. Did you guys talk about Buffy's hair yet?
A little. Go ahead.
Well, when the episode started, I'm like, oh, why the hell is she wearing that ugly wig? And then when I saw her grab the scissors, I was like, that's why. That's all I have to say about that.
Yeah, we were talking about wigs the other day, right?
Or like every week, right? Who knows?
Yeah, well, I mean, maybe just having the Lost Initiative flashbacks, Kim.
Yeah.
Because of all
Oh
the
no,
wig
we were
talk
talking
you had
about
then.
Anya's wig because she had this crazy blonde wig because they said she looked too much like Buffy.
Oh, yeah.
Right, yeah.
I just
David
think
Fury
it's
wrote on Lost. I forgot he wrote Numbers, Special, Solitary, Walkabout.
those are all good episodes.
Uh-huh.
Hmm.
24, Terra Nova, Fringe, Hannibal. He wrote a couple of Hannibal.
Really?
And then 24 Living Day.
I don't think he's necessarily the problem.
Mm-mm.
But yeah, there's definitely a lack of direction, I think. I think
Yeah.
the ship misses her captain.
Yes.
I think the one thing we got in this episode were the what do we call them? The Three Stooges?
The Evil Trio or whatever.
Yeah,
what trio?
like we got
Evil Trio.
the Evil Trio. Like I see sorry, what's his name? Not Jonathan, but the tall one.
Jonathan?
No, the tall one.
Warren.
Warren. Like, I feel
Warren?
he's going to emerge as the big bad, and the other two are just not going to follow his lead, because he's
Yeah, I think
clearly,
they're building him up to be super evil.
yeah, he's clearly stepping away from the other two. Because, yeah, Jonathan, I think he's got a bit of, like, his morals are still intact, and the other one's kind of just there.
Mhm.
Like, he says a few bumbling things, but he also has his conscience still. But I think Warren is going to... I think he'll emerge as the big bad, and maybe even the other two will help the Scoobies bring him down in the end because they realize how far he's gone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Totally. I think that's where it's going. I think that the other guys are kind of just happy-go-lucky. They want to be part of a club thing, and I think Warren's the only one that really has a vested interest in.
Yeah, because, Jonathan has a heart. He gave Buffy that stupid umbrella, so.
Yeah, that's true. Bringer of umbrellas.
Was it the class protector? Is that it?
Class
Yeah.
protector.
Yes.
Like, he presented it to her, so I think we have a soft spot still for Buffy.
Fantastic. Yeah. Hey, I have an audio voicemail here from Paul Mackey. From Paul Mackey. Does anybody want to hear it?
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah, let's listen to this and see what
I
Paul
don't think
has
Gabby
to say.
does.
I don't know.
I think
Gabby's
Gabby's MIA.
Well, Gabby's kind of there, but when her camera was on, she was invisible.
I saw that.
So I don't know what happened. We'll see. All right.
She
Here's
probably
Show is
Paul
invisible.
Mackey.
She probably.
Hey, PotentialCast, this is Paul Mackey, and I'm calling in honor of Gone. And I'm calling in honor of Gone because you're at the end of the Drunken Trilogy, Smashed, Wrecked, Gone, as I'm sure someone has pointed out to you. But in any case, I'm calling in honor of that, and you'll get to find out now what it's like when I send a message without a script in front of me, little handy notes in front of me, because I don't have notes in front of me. I'm out on the terrace, the Lakeview Terrace. Fabby's place, Mr. Fabby. And what I'm doing is calling in. This is the last year during the zip line weekend. I called in like fairly intoxicated, and and then my buddy called, grabbed the phone, and said spoilery things, and I had to definitely delete it. So, anyways, but okay, so Gone. So you got the Geek Trio, the Troika, and they are they've you know, who wouldn't, as a geek, you know, go steal a diamond and then go sneak into a tanning salon and watch some women get a spray tan and maybe get a Brazilian wax. And all that anybody knows is that weird fapping sound in the corner, but there's nobody there. Maniacal giggling and fapping sound in the corner. Who knows? But
All right, I'm going to pause Paul Mackey there just for a moment. Not because I'm grossed out at the use of the term fapping sound, and by the way, Paul, that is a first for our show. Thank you.
Oh my God.
Most important thing about this voicemail so far is that he has reminded me of the stupid premise for them wanting to be invisible.
So they can watch naked chicks.
Watch naked chicks. Hey, there was already an internet then. Kids have the internet. And listen, I was on the internet in '94, and even before the internet, on the bulletin boards. Guess what most of the Hepcat kids on the bulletin boards were sharing? Pictures of naked chicks. And it's pronounced boobs.
Oh, sorry. My bad.
W. All right, voicemail. Here we go.
Bubes.
What's that noise in the corner?
Fapping?
Hilarious.
But anyways, okay, that's all aside. So then you got Buffy, and she gets invisibled, and then once she's invisibled, she's, you know, okay, she's going to take a little gleeful revenge against Susan Rattan from LA Law, and you know, make her think she's crazy, and make everybody else think she's crazy, and all that, and then you know, you get the wacky sex hijinks with the earlobe and the cheating. I won't say the whole line, and then so you get all that, and but you know, it's like it's gleeful, it's happy, you know. You got the geeks who just wanted to go and fap in the corner without anybody seeing them, and you got Buffy, you know, running around and enjoying herself. I mean, obviously, this whole molecular decay thing is a big problem, and anyways, I don't know. I'm not as intoxicated as I should be for this call. You know, any level of beers all night long, but it's not like the rum from last zipline weekend or anything like that. So I don't know what to say. Anyways, I like the episode a lot. I think of the three of Smash, Wrecked, and Gone, I like it a lot. And so I'm not going to rate it because I have no idea. I didn't script this. I don't have notes. I'm just talking in the middle of the backyard on the Lakeview Terrace while Trav and my wife sit by the fire. So, anyways, I'm gonna let you guys go and enjoy the voicemail and I'll.
That was interesting. I did not do that. That was cut himself off. Thank you, Paul Mackey, for the voicemail. We appreciate it as always.
Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what to say, folks. It's I really didn't like this episode. Really, really didn't like it. It felt so weird. I think, yeah, fanfic, definitely. What was that show? I have this kind of memory stuck in like the depths of my cerebellum of a show that was on the air pretty regularly, and then every once in a while there would be like a completely alternative cast, and then you couldn't wait until the regular people came back on the show. Does anybody have that memory?
I have no idea what you're talking
Like
about.
what year?
80s. I'd be watching one of my favorite shows, and then it's one of these episodes with like these people,
Huh.
and then you'd want, and then it was probably in syndication by that point.
Like Love Boat or something like that?
Maybe, but it's like, imagine. Okay, here you go.
It's like everyone's on vacation, and then it's like...
Three's Company
Okay.
went through 3 blondes. Remember?
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
We had Suzanne Summers as the original.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Chrissy.
She was, pardon?
Chrissy.
Chrissy.
Summers.
And then we had,
Shit. There wasn't it
Her
her cousin, the nurse?
the nurse,
And then it
there
was the
other
stupid
Disney
chick.
one. Yeah. So whenever I'd watch Three's Company in syndication, and it wasn't, and now
Suzanne Summers.
Well-
no, hold on, I'm about to.
And
let
then there
everyone
was
know something about
then there
me.
were
And
then
it
there were
wasn't the
Fruits
nurse.
and the Ropers.
And then it wasn't the nurse. I was disappointed.
Well, that's like I liked the episodes where it was the Ropers were the landlord, not Mr.
You're either
Furley.
Mr. Furley, building manager person, or the Ropers building owners person.
Right.
And I think this episode, this for me is, what was her name? Cindy. No, Cindy was the nurse.
Cindy, shoot.
I wish there was some way of me being able to find out this information.
There's only way we could sort of, what's the word?
Yeah. I'm searching
Cindy
now.
Snow was Chrissy's cousin.
Cindy
and,
Snow, yes.
Priscilla Barnes as Terry Alden.
Oh, okay.
Terry.
He was the
Cindy
nurse.
was the div. Yeah,
Terry was the nurse.
Terry.
Was
Terry
it-
episodes were my favorite episodes.
Yes, Terry was
That's
the
all.
nurse.
Yes.
Oh, there's a threescompany.com.
Oh, excellent.
Oh my god. That is so going to be the album artwork for our show. This episode.
Cindy was a
Wow.
typist.
Yeah, so this feels to me like an alternative cast episode, or like, just terrible.
Like when we
Jenna Lee
met,
Harrison played Cindy Snow.
like when we met Nikki and Paolo.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
It
yes.
felt like
It felt like
an
expose.
episode. It felt like an episode of a show where the showrunners were too busy doing something else, and so the show kind of lost its identity.
Right.
It's
It
kind
felt
of
like
like
the 6th season of a show that could have been so much better if the showrunner was paying more attention.
it's kind of like when they introduce a sister that's never been there. Oh, wait a minute. That's this show.
May I be honest? That was a million times better than this pilot turd shit.
Oh, this was
Which, by the way, is
so-
different from regular shit, just so you all know.
Oh, it was so bad, and as Spike crazy as I can be sometimes, I didn't even care. Watching the episode the first time made me mad. Having to rewatch it so I had something semi-intelligent to say hurt me physically. This fucking episode was the worst.
Okay, hold on. I have to show you guys something. I have to show you guys something. Oh my god. Are all of us here watching the Game of Thrones TV show?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. How do I share a picture? How do I share
I
something?
don't
Hold on.
I think you can send it in the chat, right?
Oh, you opened Capture Smile.
What's that?
I
think
don't
I did that.
know.
No, I did that. I don't want to do that. I want to show you guys my screen. Okay, here we go. Let me just close a whole bunch of tabs for no reason whatsoever. Okay. Okay. What's that noise in the corner? And let me go to the screen share.
More fapping.
And I want to show you right now. Now, can I share? I'm going to show you desktop number. Where is it?
No, I can't see
Hold on.
that.
I have many desktops here. Hold on. Here it is. Okay. I don't know. Can you guys see? Can you guys see what I'm showing you?
I
And let me
can
start the
only
screen share. I have to
see-
hit the button that says start.
Okay.
Hi. And let me click
Hi.
on me so I'm the only thing that you guys can see.
Okay.
Hi. So do you guys
Okay.
see my screen?
I saw it was like red.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay, so check out this picture of Joyce DeWitt.
Oh, it's amazing.
Who does that look like?
I can't
That's
tell.
Arya
Pictures.
Stark.
Oh my God!
Oh.
That picture of Joyce DeWitt looks exactly like Arya Stark.
Arya. I started listening to the Game of Thrones book on tape.
I am listening to those when I run. It's fantastic.
It's frustrating because there'll be times where I'm listening and then I'll be distracted for like 5-10 minutes. Like, oh shit!
No, you can't do that. You have to be entirely focused all the
You
time.
have to, yes. And so I can't, like, even when I go back and I'm like, oh shit, I have to.
I
like,
tried
start
listening
again.
to it while I was doing some basement renovations, and I couldn't. But
Yeah.
if I'm running, it's no problem. I'm totally into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Maybe I should do that.
Yeah. So I'm on Clash of Kings. It's great.
Listen while I work out.
Fuck you, Theon.
Oh God. I've got a question. You keep saying you have lots of screens. What the hell is it like swordfish in there? Jesus.
No. I have this Mac, and I have an external screen connected. And on the Mac
Ooh.
operating system, you can have many desktops.
You fancy.
So I have my laptop
You
screen
fancy,
here
huh?
that I'm looking
You
at,
fancy,
and I
huh?
have over here, I have my secondary screen, but I can have many
Nails
desktops
did,
on.
hair did, everything did.
Yeah.
You fancy,
Listen to
huh?
my-
You fancy, huh? Sorry.
That's
Talking to me
okay.
mad all night.
Hey, I think we have an email. Shall we read it?
Oh. Sure.
Just
All right.
one?
No, well, actually,
Two.
we have a couple emails about the episode, and then I want to read an email from Diana Gordon. Okay?
Please.
So let's read
Uh-huh.
Missy's email. Missy Pool! Missy Pool. Hello, Gax. This is a horrible, horrible episode of television.
Yeah.
It almost makes you wish you appreciated Smashed and Wrecked. No?
No.
Nope.
It's shocking knowing that this was written and directed by David Fury.
Mm-hmm.
Time to remove all the magic-related shit in the house, including Coco Pelli. I don't know why, but I'm just as outraged as Dodd by his removal. Coco Pelli for the win. Magic weed? Really, Buffy? You ain't fooling anyone.
For
Who
real.
the hell? By the way, that looked like just a bunch of stems. Okay? That was like some really shitty weed, if that was weed. Who the hell is Pat? And Crazy Cow Mug Doris should be friends. Just so I'm clear, Spike isn't Buffy's boyfriend. He doesn't gay with Willow. Yeah, okay. What day is it? Wednesday? Awesome, because that means it's Bikini Wax Day at the Sunnydale Ladies Spa. Y'all notice that? Ha ha. I love Xander, and I'm so glad you guys now live in a world where the word blinvisible it's possibly my favorite Xanderism ever.
Quotes, people. Quotes.
Yes, that was a season 1 reference. I wonder if Marcy has honed her skills and worked her way up the FBI ladder by this point. Ugly purple leather studded cap. I'm so glad Buffy cut off that stupid fake hair, because she does look adorable now. He didn't last long on that whole no sex with Spike thing. Is Xander blind? Because I don't quite understand how he doesn't get the been having sex with each other vibe during that kitchen scene, and then later at Spike's he walks in on them going at it pretty hard, and is easy food by the exercise excuse. Also, Spike has a girlfriend, even if said girl won't admit it. Pudding! Wait, that's not a good thing. The espresso
That's a
pump.
really good point. He sees them in the kitchen,
Yep.
all like close and like whatever. He knows Buffy's invisible.
Well, yeah, but he would. That's how he would never.
The Nile
ever,
ain't just a river
ever-
in Egypt, Kim.
Yeah, believe that Buffy would fall for Spike.
People
But
see what
still.
they want to see.
Yeah, he knows she's invisible, and he's doing invisible push-ups on the bed. Come on.
But Buffy,
That's true.
Buffy being
That's
with
true.
Spike is like such a long shot in his mind.
That's
I guess.
true.
I mean, who hasn't done invisible push-ups on their bed?
I've never done a push-up in bed. The bed is the worst place to do a push-up. You need a flat surface. If you're doing push-ups in bed, fuck you. You're doing push-ups wrong. And I'm not just talking about you don't have your back
You're
straight.
doing it
You're
wrong.
doing those stupid ass, I'm only going to do it on my knees push-ups. Fuck off. Don't do a push-up if you can't do it on your toes. All right? That's it. I'm being a push-up snob now. Fuck you. 1,000 push-ups. Trust me. Trust
I
me when I
can't
say
do
this.
push-up on my toes.
The espresso pump is then stop. Do something else. Plank for a while, and then you'll strengthen your core, and you can do a proper push-up.
Whoa.
I've had a lot of Pepsi Max while my family is out of town. Can you tell? The espresso pub is now an internet cafe. Progressive! Dawn is hiding something. She did not come home straight away like she was told to. Naughty girl. Oh yeah, we should totally talk about the one thing that I found interesting in the episode. Buffy doesn't want to die. This is a huge step forward. I mean, just a few episodes ago she was singing about life sucking. Willow didn't relapse. Yay, Willow! She drank a shit ton of water throughout this episode, though. That can't be healthy. Warren has certainly taken the role of evil leader to a new level. He was very willing to kill Buffy. I love that Buffy notices Jonathan's voice and that Andrew is just Tucker's brother. Yes, that was the part of the episode where I really laughed heartily. These three dorks are Buffy's nemesis. Boy, that ending, huh? The song, the sidewalk conversation, and look of defeat and exhaustion, very melodramatic. From Simone.
Thank you.
No!
We have an email from John Pavlich.
No!
JP.
Hey, guests and potential guests. See what I did there? All right, Gone. Where do I begin? You know how over the years people have had a collective disdain for certain Buffy episodes because they are widely believed to be bad? You know the ones I'm talking about. I, Robot You, Jane, Go Fish, Beer Bad, which I actually like, Where the Wild Things Are, and so on. To me, Gone should be added to that list, but I sometimes feel like mine is the only signature on that petition. Oh, no, John. No. No. We will sign your petition. Definitely. I will put on Birkenstocks, walk down to your campus, and sign that petition right away. I get the impression that most viewers find this episode to be fun, whimsical, and refreshing. Really? Really?
Like, I get why people would think it's fun, because it's different from
It's an episode of Sabrina the Teenage Witch!
Yes. Yes, it is!
Well.
But there's no hot ant. Anyway, I just find the whole thing to be, well, lame. I think that's the one word to sum it all up. Gone is lame. If I remember correctly, I believe this episode was written to accommodate Sarah Michelle Gellar's busy schedule, as I think this was around the same time she was shooting Scooby-Doo. What? She shot Scooby?!
What year was this? I would say it's around, I know what you did last summer was earlier. Right?
She was on there?
She was in I Know What You Did Last Summer. The first
I
and
thought
the second one,
she was
right?
just in that movie Grudge.
No, that's much later.
It's much later. I don't know. I don't know what the heck.
Scooby-Doo was 02.
Okay.
So this was
02?
about the time. Yeah.
Oh, the movie Scooby-Doo. Okay. Gone feels like an early season 2 episode, and not in a good way. The trio have had this multiple episode arc involving this important diamond, and the purpose for it and resolution to that whole thread is a one episode anticlimactic joke. They have no agency, since making Buffy invisible was a freak accident and her resulting impending death was an afterthought. They have no problem freezing a guy, which, I'm sorry, but he's dead. When did this show become a Bugs Bunny cartoon? And their past actions against the Slayer could have easily, and I would argue intentionally, lead to her death, but suddenly they want to try and save her life? I mean, I understand Warren does try to secretly kill her, but if the show is trying to tell us the other two aren't so evil, it's a bit inconsistent at this point, and just feels like a bad retroactive continuity. Let's also talk about Buffy's behavior in this episode. I know, she feels dead inside, disconnected from life, blah, blah, blah. But she goes back and forth on this stuff so much, and it's dialed to 11 here. If Buffy not only doesn't care that she's invisible, she also doesn't care that it's going to dissolve her body and kill her in the most disturbing and painful way possible, then how can the writers expect me to care enough for the both of us? Also, consider this. Dawn is 100% inconsequential and unnecessary. Seriously, you could skip this entire episode and not miss a damn thing that's of any importance or has any bearing on the rest of the season. Oh, sure, Buffy has a nice heart-to-heart with Willow about being oblivious to her best friend's pain. Willow has a scene of trying to stay on the wagon, and at the end of the episode, Buffy declares she doesn't want to die, but you could easily put those scenes in any other episode, and they'd work just fine. They have little to nothing to do with the invisibility thread of this episode. It would be much more satisfying if Dawn was somehow the reason Buffy wanted to go on. Not to mention it would make Dawn relevant again, but I digress. Gone is stupid, half-baked, and completely forgettable. 3 out of 10 don't care bears.
Oh, what was the part about Dawn?
Don't care.
Not
Bears.
coming
It's
home.
amazing.
That
Yeah, Dawn is done. Dawn is up to no good.
what happened? I can't remember.
Dawn is up to no good. She was being very, I don't need to talk to Buffy. I don't need Buffy to talk to me. I think Dawn is doing something. I think Dawn is getting into witchcraft.
Oh.
Or she's having sex with Tara.
Oh, well, that's disturbing. No. Oh gosh.
Very disturbing.
Sorry. There's just this noise in the corner.
Are you right? Is there some fanfic writing going on?
No, can you see my whiteboard? Oh, thank God you can't. I have my outlines for my stories. By the way, I'm thinking about the new family room I'm putting together. I'm thinking about having one of the walls have some of that chalkboard paint.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's the best. That's the
Um,
best. I did that in my parents' kitchen.
Yeah. So I'm wondering about that, and either that or actually putting up an actual chalkboard.
Use the paint. It's
The
fine.
paint.
Paint. Yeah.
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 Because then it's like you're writing on the walls.
Mm,
It's bad, but it's good at the same time.
dust. Kids.
You'll have dust anyway with a chalkboard.
This is
Right.
true. This is true. All right.
And they're old enough now to know that it's okay not to really write on walls unless it's chalk.
Oh, the almost 5-year-old is she has her moments. Hey, Allison Jones has sent us an email. Gak, I know you guys weren't really into this episode, but I like it. Not love it, but like it. That's something. See what I did there? Stealing quotes is what I'm doing. Jokes just aren't as funny when you have to point them out to people. But Invisible Buffy seems to have forgotten this. I don't know when Buffy got this whole sitcom feel to it. Was it when it moved to
sitcom-y.
UPN? The kitchen is so bright. I mean, it's the same one as it's always been, but it looks like such a soundstage. Speaking of as it's always been, interestingly enough, I just finished the first season with my boyfriend, who hasn't seen Buffy before. Oh, you're doing your own intro cast! Oh, but without the cast, and probably with a lot more sex. By the way, I
Definitely.
apologize. That was incredibly inappropriate and horrible of me. But it's probably factual.
It's where the show's gone. It's where the show's
This
gone.
is where our show's gone as well. Yeah. Who hasn't seen Buffy before? Which includes the Marcy episode. So it seems to be a trend in this show that invisibility is a consequence of science, not magic. Weird. Bratwatch is back. Is it, Gabby?
Yes, it was.
I think they purposefully skanked up Buffy's outfit for when the social worker came to visit, right? I mean, she doesn't usually wear that little.
Yeah.
I feel like Sarah Michelle Gellar wasn't willing to cut her hair as short as they intended, unless they decided to write her actually getting a haircut into the script. It's just that it's no Felicity. There's nothing really edgy about her new haircut. It's basically the same as season 2 hair, except I don't like the whole flippy outy thing it's doing at the end. Hair spoiler.
I thought that was a little nod to Felicity because there was that huge controversy when she cut her hair. She didn't even cut her hair, apparently.
Yeah.
It's a big joke, but then it was written into pretty much every girl actress's contract. You cannot cut your hair without permission of whatever show.
Hey, Kim, do you know
Yeah.
the Montreal Canadiens hockey team?
Same thing?
Do you know that they have a goaltender?
Yes,
Do
his
you know
name's
what he
Carey
does
Price.
in the off season?
No, what does he do?
He rodeos.
Really?
Yep,
I didn't know that.
Oh, how did they let him do that?
because he was raised rodeoing. And
Yeah.
apparently it's like, you can't tell me what to do in the off season. So I don't know how he gets away with that.
Mhm.
But yeah, so I would not allow my star goalie to rodeo. Just saying. So actresses not being allowed to cut their hair. You know what? If it's the choice between natural hair and really shitty wig, people don't notice.
Exactly. Like, put a wig on.
I don't notice wigs. I don't look at wigs.
Because
They need to be good
remember-
wigs, though, not lost wigs.
I mean, if they wore their wigs on their chests, I might notice. But I don't look at their faces. I just don't. I never do.
As superficial as it is, when Carrie Russell had her hair chopped off on Felicity, it looked
Yeah.
hideous.
It was not a good look at all.
And
agree.
honestly, people stopped watching. Not because of the show was bad. They couldn't look at her.
It's weird. I remember getting excited like when the fall television season would start because I liked the shows that I like to watch. I like to see how they looked different and how their
Yeah.
hair was. That was why one of the reasons I liked Friends so much because they were always switching it up. Like
Yeah.
Rachel and Monica's hair was different every season.
Uh-huh.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Oh, what I
Friends
love
girl.
is there are 2 seasons of Gilmore Girls. There's a season of Gilmore Girls that takes place exactly when the last season, it picks up right where the last season leaves off, and it's like seamless. And I'm like, how did they do that? Because so much can change in 3 months.
Look
They
at this
didn't-
picture. I'm going to distract
important.
from
Go
anything
ahead.
else. Look at this awesome picture.
Well, I
this,
know
look at
that
this.
sometimes the series, right as soon as they film the finale, they film the first couple of scenes for the next season.
What?
Oh,
And
wow.
then when the
mind blown.
next season starts, like they halfway through, maybe like the first episode, like of between season 4, for example, the first episode, half of the episode will be shot when the finale for season 3 was shot, and then they'll pick up the rest of the episode, and sometimes you'll notice continuity where the actors look slightly different.
Wait a second.
because
Which show?
time's passed. I've been saying in some shows.
Oh.
Not saying like I've seen it before.
I've wondered about that. I've wondered that if that could be a possibility.
Mm-hmm.
Like especially if there's a cliffhanger.
Yeah, like a big cliffhanger, especially if it's super expensive, where they have to, the sets and the costumes or whatever. But yeah, it's been done before, guys.
There's more to Allie's email here. Hair spoilers, she says. It will get better when she starts styling it like her season 2 hair. I remember it was around the airing of this episode, Joss Whedon said that in season 6, life is the big bad. I don't know what you will think that actually means about the season, but I understand why it started being discussed with Gone. We're in the middle where it starts to get drawn out, and a lot of people weren't liking it so far. I was. First of all, I think this episode is funny. The nerd boys work for me. I'm a very silly person, and they make me laugh. So the intended balance of melodrama and comedy was there. I didn't like the ham-fisted metaphors, but by this point I was so attached to the characters and I related so much to what Buffy was going through that I could easily gloss over it. Anyway, the writers weren't always successful with their metaphors. Where the wild things are, anyone?
Sorry.
6 was right when I moved into a group home when I was a sophomore in high school. I was severely depressed and hadn't gone to school for about 6 months. Throughout middle school, I had been in and out of psych wards for being suicidal. My emotional journey almost
my Lord.
perfectly matched up with Buffy's, and I had come to the same realization as her. Life really sucks sometimes, and I felt a lot of pain, but I didn't want to die. Well, that's very good. I'm happy to hear that. I had a lot to learn, and it took a lot of work to be happy, but I eventually got there. Hopefully the show will get to a place where it makes you happy and without too much work. XO Heart Allie. Thank you, Allie. And thank you for sharing this. Yeah. The whole Buffy getting over her disdain of life, I'm on board with John Pavlich here. That could have been put in any episode. To move us forward, to move us away from Buffy doesn't want to be around, she doesn't really want to live, she has nothing to live for feeling. I think that having it in this kind of, it's just so weird. It's weird. I don't want the show to be like this.
Yeah, I think having it in this episode does 2 things. Like you can see it either way. It's like, why would they put such an important plot point for the series or for the season in this shitty episode? Or we got to put it in this episode because it's shit and we need something to bring it up. So it could have been one of 2 things. I don't know. I was just like, yeah.
Well, you asked Kim about it being filler. I think that with it written and directed by David Fury, I feel like this was supposed to be a special episode.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, I have one last email to read, and it has nothing to do with this episode. You guys ready?
Okay.
Yeah.
This is from Diana Gordon. Greetings! I started listening to your podcast regularly just over 2 years ago. Robin, I sent in an email about the show. You made a joke about it because it was one of the first emails you had received. Yes, I know Robin's not officially on the podcast right now. I think we discussed Diana's email, but I don't think we read it out loud. So I'm going to now read this email that she sent just last week here. So May, June, July of 2012, I spent a lot of time in the car. My husband had a seizure and had to have surgery for a meningioma. He's fine. Amazing what neurosurgeons can do. Right at the same time, my son was about to graduate from high school. My mother was dying from cancer in hospice. And my daughter was, well, she was just being her adorable teenage self.
I know what that means.
Sarcastic there. I hope you're not being sarcastic, but if you are, oh my God, my daughter. Okay. So, back to your podcast. After the powers that be decided my husband had to have surgery to take out the plum-sized tumor in his head, turned out that the best surgeon worked in a hospital on the other side of town. The entire week plus, I drove back and forth, an hour drive each way, no matter what time I left the house. During that week, I started listening and then went back and caught up on most of the earlier episodes. Yes, I skipped a few of the classics from the first season. I had listened to the podcast about a year before, but didn't like how negative you were about the show. I blame Gabby. No. That was the Debbie era. We shall not speak of her. For whatever reason, in 2012, I clicked and have followed you ever since, almost religiously. I've promised to send an email feedback, but failed. Have posted some Facebook feedback. Once you switch to YouTube, I've tried to watch, but it's difficult to find the time. Can't do it legally while driving. This is true. Don't watch YouTube and drive, folks. More importantly, you may not know this, but the PotentialCast spoiler group has become a wonderful place to go when I need my Buffy or Joss fix. I know there will be people ready to answer questions, having interesting conversations, etc. You, Gax, Skarg, and special guest, you've made this happen. Thank you. Life is much calmer now. One kid in college, too expensive. One going into her senior year in high school. Maybe she'd like to live in Canada for a year before going to college. Everyone is healthy. Although, now that I've said that, something will probably happen.
Oh.
When Xander said that and Buffy and Willow smacked him. Keep going, please. Have a great summer. Season 6 gets really good and can't wait to head back to Angel. Thank you, Diana. And I think we're all kind of feeling the can't wait to get back to Angel feeling.
Even me.
Yeah, I almost watched season 3, episode 1 the other day.
No.
I almost cheated. I know. I was like, how can I do this legitimately without having everyone be upset with me? And I was like, oh, I'll do it as a commentary. But then I know myself, and I have very poor impulse control. And so I would have probably like mainlined a bunch, and then I'd probably have to like kick myself off the podcast, and it was just this whole scenario going through my head. So luckily I resisted. What's that noise in the corner? Thanks for the emails, folks. If anyone would like to read some of the Facebook feedback, that'd be really cool.
All right, let me open up my phone. Sorry, guys.
I can't believe that teenage me had a crush on Priscilla Barnes.
Priscilla
Teenage
Barnes?
Me. Yeah.
Yeah,
Terry on,
the nurse on.
yeah. Man, Joyce DeWitt looks like Arya. I'm going to post this.
Oh, there's so many comments.
Why?
Well, just start with the first one.
Why?
Do we have to read them all?
It works better.
Well,
It works
yeah,
best with
that's why we're here.
It works best with Robin's introduction here.
Right. Buffy, you look different today. Wait, no, don't tell me. Is it a new shirt? No. Did you lose weight? No, not that either. Maybe you've been in the. Have you been in the sun at all? Maybe you're tanner? No. Is it a confidence thing? Are you seeing someone new? Whoa. Definitely not that either. All right, calm down. I'll get this eventually. Maybe someone in this group can help me out when they leave feedback for this episode. Gone. There'll be no extensions granted. Now make sure It isn't too lengthy, but please don't cut it any shorter. Try not to take too much off the top, but not too harebrained either, or probably curl up and die. Mullet over. You're so droll there, Robin. Natasha writes, it's adorable, apparently. Missy says, thank God I've got 3 more days to finish my email. It might be long. Okay. Rich says, I like this episode. Haters will hate, though. Lulls were had. Also, expecting some ultra PC comments about how Buffy was being rapey. Come on, Spike clearly wants it. I don't think so. Ashley writes, becomes invisible, then has sex? Maybe that was the invisible girl from season 1 plan all along. Bruce writes, at least we get some oral pleasure from Buffy, or I mean, at least we get to hear Buffy being happy for a change. Nutty writes, 2 words, naked push-ups. Jason writes, I almost quit the podcast when I heard one of them say last week that it was worse than Wrecked, but I will suffer through.
That would be me.
Oh,
that was
yeah,
me, because I had seen it already. And I stand by it. Stand by my opinion.
Emily writes, I like it too, Rich. In fact, I was surprised to hear it so hated. I will be interested to hear why. I've never listened to the podcast talk about it. I've never listened to a podcast talk about it. Sorry about that. Rachel writes, Anya gets all the points for actually talking about the Willow situation. No pussyfooting around the very major issue for her. Buffy's hair sucks. Spike naked gymnastics are atrocious, and in extremely bad taste when Xander is trying to talk to Buffy. What? Spike's naked gymnastics. Oh. Okay, anyways. The nerds are back, and sadly are the high point of this episode, which is a lot to say about how awful this episode is. 0.5 out of 10.
Whoa.
Sarah Michelle Gellar's phoning it in, literally. Yes, it was very ADR heavy, this episode.
Oh, yes.
Val writes, dislike this episode immensely. Gone equals hate equals skipped episode. I wish the damn trio were gone. I actually felt embarrassed for Marsters with that scene of thrusting into nothing and getting an invisible BJ from Buffy. Sorry, I just don't have anything good to say about this one except that it's over. Has anyone seen Miss Kitty Fantastico? I'm talking about it one notch lower than your charitable rating, Rachel. I give it a 0 out of 10. That's my invisible rating. Man, wow. I can't even come up with a good rating system. And then Rich is like, Rich still, he doesn't get it. Paul says, this is the poorest run of episodes in a while. Smash, Wrecked, this, and then episode 12. Wow, shoot me now. Seriously, though. Gone is bad, but it has a handful of amusing moments. No, not the Spike Invisi-Buffy scene. Yuck. Can't think of anything more wrong and disgusting. Bob DeGrand says, I think it's bad also, but I like it a lot better than Smashed or Wrecked. The trio provides some comic relief. I like that nobody knows who Andrew is. And there are some nice callbacks to Marcy Ross, the previous Invisible Girl, and Buffy whistling, going through the motions. Andrew is interested in naked women? I find that hard to believe. I much prefer Detective Willow to Junkie Willow. Yeah, that's true.
Willow could be Batman, just so you guys know.
Yeah. The naked push-ups are risky. Buffy is invisible, not silent. But what I also don't get, this is like my editorial, not Bob anymore. They showed Buffy, her figure underneath the blanket. Yeah. Like in the same scene. Mm-hmm. Yet when she was when Spike was on top of her, there is no silhouette of any person underneath him. SOD. Nope. That's all I have to say.
Yep.
Back to Bob DeGrand. I can't overstate how much I can't stand the alien that is inhabiting Spike's body this season. Being upset that Buffy wanted to have sex with him? Spike, give me a break. Val comes back and says, and let's give a hand for Robin. Let's give a hand for
For the punning style
stylings
of Robin Bird.
of Robin for the above post. Emily writes, prude,
Emily's
says the
calling us
Mormon.
prudes, but she's a Mormon. Good for you, Emily. I can take over, Kim.
Please do.
Dylan says, I got a few notes for this one. Eat the goddamn eggs! Dylan is continuing his, why does no one ever eat the food that people cook? And I noticed that in my commentary. Hey, you guys, remember how great Once More with Feeling was? Thanks, Rachel McLaughlin. Cut it out, Robin, says Matt. I think you're looking for the How Rude podcast group. That is an intro cast for, actually, no, it's a retrospective podcast for Full House. How Rude. It's actually quite good. Robin says, I thought this episode was funny. I'm surprised at all the hate. But then again, I thought the Ewoks were adorable and hilarious until I got the internet.
I like
Paul
the
agrees that the
Ewoks.
Ewoks are
They're
pretty
cute.
Ewoks are dumb.
They're oh.
Ewoks are dumb. It was supposed to be Kashyyyk, the Wookiee planet, and then they're like, let's just hire a bunch of little people and do Ewoks and sell more toys.
Because little kids will buy more toys.
Bruce says, I like it, although too many awkward conversations drag it down a bit. Rachel McLaughlin Horde says, wait, there were Ewoks in this episode? Were the Ewoks invisible too? No, I do get it, but can we all agree that Jar Jar was always annoying?
Yeah.
Says, I thought Jar Jar was pretty cute. Fuck you, Paul. Sorry, I mean to say, Issa fucka yusa, Paul. Rich says, Jar Jar made me want to vom. Emily says, here's my take on the hair chopping. Spike said he loves it, and in a fit she chopped it off to spite him, and/or desperate move to take it away from him, making her less attractive to him because she can't trust herself to stay away. Personally, I think the cut is cute and was very of the time. Patrick says, the episode in which our hero torments an innocent woman for just doing her job. Also, invisible blowjobs. Again, invisible blowjobs. Actually, not again, but when you first read Invisible BJ, Kim, I think Invisible BJ or Invisible Blowjobs would be an awesome name for a band. Paul says, I think Buffy's hair is pretty cute. Ray says, I guess I'm weird because I like this one. It's much better than Smashed or Wrecked, in my opinion. I still hate the Willow magic equals drugs analogy, but besides that, I think it's actually nice seeing Buffy have a little fun after being depressed. I'm clicking on see more after being depressed for so long. And I like the thing is, Ray, I don't mean to criticize you, but we don't see Buffy having a little fun. we really do not see her having any fun, and that really bothered me. That totally took me out of the episode.
I see her being incredibly childish and acting so wildly out of character that it is incredibly off-putting.
And I like the trio's villains. I have said it before, but after fighting a god last season, I like that they scaled it back this season and they gave us a comedic villain, especially because of how heavy the rest of the storylines are. And my favorite thing about the whole episode is that Xander and Willow actually spend some time together investigating, old school style, like the actual best friends that they claim to be without Anya or Tara around. Plus,
I can see that.
Haircut is adorable. Not my favorite episode, but I don't get the hate for it at all. Dylan says, thanks, Emily. Cute final haircut aside. Still seems like a little bratish, crazy way to go about it to me. But then again, from my perspective, I'm just jealous of people that can grow hair. Okay, quick second note. Is Buffy being overconfident because she's invisible or because she got a haircut? You wouldn't like me much then, Dylan. And I say 98% invisible, 2% haircut. And Elisa says, I remember this haircut being a big deal. UPN had commercials about it.
Really?
Wow.
Okay.
The haircut was quite a rite of passage on the WB, UPN verse, Felicity, Cordelia, Rory Gilmore, or House Air Raid. Okay. Grant says, first off, Robin Bird, you are fantastic. What a great description. B, the Ewoks were adorable heroes. No, they were not. They were going to eat our heroes. Jesus. 3, this episode amuses me to no end, but I agree it's not good or anything. I'm a trio apologist, so maybe that explains it. And Buffy is a one-girl man. Beatnik. I posted a video to the greatest song ever about hairdressers. Dylan, is that Maggie Walsh singing? No, Dylan, it's not. It's not Maggie Walsh. Gabby says, "Oh, this episode," and then we have some awesome little meme. We have Applejack saying something, and we have a little fire starter, cute little fire starter girl. Wanted me to rewatch Gone. Nope, not happening. And she probably murdered her whole family with that fire she started. If you're going to murder your family with arson, please make sure you have this cute little picture of yourself. Jason says, "Wow, it has never occurred to me that people could dislike Gone this much." Rob Cox is also playing the meme game. Val says, Does anyone know where Gone ranks in those Buffy the Vampire Slayer lists? Emily responds with 112 out of 114. So there are people who compiled the list who think that there are 32 episodes of Buffy worse than this. Steph, would you agree?
Wow.
32 episodes out of 144.
That are worse than this.
I would
I have
say,
to watch.
yeah, I'd say it's in the bottom 20. I don't put much stock in the list like that because they're too subjective. Who's to say what's
like
what?
Podcasts.
Yeah.
Karen says, "This is where the season starts to drag for me. I love this season, but the beginning and the end are where it's great. You just have to power through the middle of it. It's like a workout, guys.
Yeah.
We're hitting the wall." Taylor says, "I'm in the I find this episode entertaining camp. I'll take the humor wherever I can get it this season, and this episode manages to give a few laughs. Plus, I really like the trio, and I find their power dynamics fascinating. They seem to agree on wanting to be supervillains, but what that means to each of them individually doesn't seem to mesh." I really like this point because it is, for whatever it's worth, it is becoming abundantly clear that Warren is the real bad guy here.
Yeah.
So clearly, Jonathan and the other guy are going to help stop him. That's my prediction.
They either disappear, he kills them, or they join the Scoobies.
No one can disappear or kill Jonathan, and there's no way Jonathan will ever be a Scooby. And the end of this episode provides Buffy and Willow with a step towards recovery. Willow chooses hard work, and Buffy chooses life. Side note, 12-year-old me found invisible people fighting pretty funny. Kim says, "Some of my favorite lines come from this episode rhymes with, and I'm pretty sure Sarah Michelle Gellar wanted to cut her hair, so they wrote this. She also wanted to go on a small vacation. Two birds. It's widely hated ep, but I still find it fun. Fashion advice notwithstanding." Simon says, "I didn't know this episode was disliked so much either. I enjoyed it a lot, actually."
Says. Sorry.
Rachel McGuckin-Horde says, "I'm pretty sure that the haircut and the need for Invisible Buffy was because of pre- or post-production work on one of the Scooby-Doo movies." Kim says, "Totally makes sense." Emily says, "My daughter has one of the Scooby movies and her hair is very close to before haircut Buffy. I bet it's post-production and she cut it because the movie was done." Sylvia says, "I think this episode would be better if the jokes in it weren't so lame." I agree with you. This is by far my least favorite of the season. I like the next one better, and that's saying something. Bob DeGrand says, "Wow. At any rate, one thing I always thought about this season was that even if Joss wasn't around as the showrunner, in his capacity as a script doctor, adding maybe 5 to 10 funny lines per episode would have made a huge difference." And then I come up with some scheduling information. Allie says that she's happy because it gives her the chance to write that awesome email we read. And Christine finishes the email. Not my Christine, but someone else's Christine says, "I like to pretend that Doris Kroger is Pat's sister." And that, ladies and germs, was feedback.
Whoa.
I'm ready to rate this piece of shit.
Okay.
And not just because, I still want to get a run in before going to bed and stuff, but mostly because I'm done. I don't want to talk about this anymore. Let me know what you think.
I never want to talk about this episode ever again.
Okay.
Thank you.
Kim, Steph, do you have any more points?
Nope. I'll go ahead and rate, though,
Thank you,
to get out of the way. Okay, yes, it is nice to see Xander and Willow working together again, and Willow doing it all the hard way without taking the easy way out.
Boo!
Yeah, invisible people fighting bad. Buffy was acting like some, I don't know, some broad comedy something. I don't, ugh. And, yeah. So I give it 3 out of 10. Very cheap effects of having, like, invisible people, because, like, there's nothing there and you don't have to do anything in post-production. It's a cheap effect.
For a second there, I thought you were going all Archie Bunker, and you're like, I didn't like Buffy being a broad. What is going on here?
Oh, I forgot about the self-loathing, having no self-respect. Come on. Ugh. So, anyway, go ahead.
I really didn't like this episode. Again, I want to officially apologize for anyone who had to listen to my commentary. I was shocked and appalled with the lack of quality as I saw it in this episode. I'm going to give this episode 1 out of 10 Shining references.
I would like to say fuck this episode.
In the ear.
The thing that I resent the most about this episode is that I'm forced to give it a rating because of Bra Watch. Because it was a totally see-through black stupid belly shirt with a black bra underneath it, and I have to give points for that, and it makes me angry because this thing was a massive piece of crap. I did not enjoy it. It made me, like I said before, it made me mad the first time I watched it because the Willow, oh my God, the cleaning her room, and then her finishing up her little detox action, and then just Buffy acting completely ridiculous and out of sorts, and it looked weird, and the trio is ridiculous, and it was not enjoyable in any way, shape, or form, and my stomach hurt when I was watching it again, and kind of like half doing other stuff just to kind of refresh my memory. So I'm gonna give it 1 out of 10 bags of magic weed.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm pretty much indifferent to this episode. Like, yeah. No, felt like it was going through the motions. No. Didn't mean to reference it like that, but yeah, I was not overly excited because I watched it in 2 parts. I watched about a half an hour, and then I finished off the last 15 minutes, literally seconds before I logged onto this call. And like, even when I stopped it, I was like, oh, thank goodness I don't have to watch the rest of that for a while. Like, I don't know, it just felt really hokey. It honestly felt like it was dumbing it down. I always, we always have SOD. I think we give this show a lot of slack because, it's such a popular show and everyone says it's so good. And it's like, I know it's going to get better. So I do feel like we're powering through these middle episodes. And, it wasn't, I wouldn't say like, oh my God, I wish I had that hour of my life back. But it was, yeah, I could have gone without it. What else? Like, you were commenting about the whole, I hate the whole magic equals drugs equals, like, I just hate that. I think it's filling after school especially without coming out and saying, hey guys, drugs are bad, And like, even when she was sitting there with Xander when she was researching, and then she went to, float the book over to her or whatever, and then she stopped and she's like, oh, and she starts drinking water like she's cleansing herself from, oh, I can't do this anymore. I just stuff like that drives me bonkers. But anyways, that being aside, I don't think that it is as bad as all of us are making it out to be. It's bad, but it's not like a flaming pile of shit like other episodes have been. Anyways, I've rambled on enough, and no one wants to hear this anymore. So I'm going to give it 4 out of 10 floating eyeballs. Yeah.
So bad.
Yeah.
Hey, that's what we thought. Let us know what you think about upcoming episodes, our show. You can send us an email at
PotentialCast@gmail.com.
You can follow us on Twitter at PotentialCast. You can join the Facebook group, facebook.com/group/PotentialCast. You can call us on the telephone, 27040-BUFFY, like Paul Mackey did. And I think we're going to talk about what's upcoming next time, and then make like a tree and get out of here. So, quote time. I'll go first.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a quote.
I'll go first.
I don't want to have a quote for that. I'm serious. I don't want to quote this episode.
Wow.
Oh, you're sticking
Yeah.
to it. Oh.
We're in season 6 of the show. The show is really good. I really like this show, and this is what they give me.
You can't even throw out a rhymes with Blizzable?
I'm very upset. Okay, Tara gave it to me. Willow says something like that about something that had crystals in it.
Wait, no. Would you tell this episode that you're very disappointed in it?
I'm very
And that
disappointed.
and it needs to think about what it's done, and
You know what? I wish this episode jumped out in front of someone shooting at a cop and got shot in the butt. You know what the doctor said to the episode? It said, had the bullet been 2 inches to the left and 2 feet up, might not have been able to walk again this episode.
It's Brooklyn Nine-Nine cast.
Yeah, no, you guys quote, please. Don't let me stop you.
You penis.
That's my Yiddish.
Okay,
apparently.
I'll do the. Oh, it's not a gay thing, you know. Well, she's gay, but we don't gay. Not that there's anything wrong with you know. It just looks like, but I swear it's not what it looks like. It's magic weed. It's not mine. I said almost the exact same thing when I was a freshman in college. That's so weird.
Like the whole thing, right?
Yeah, it got a little too real for me. Maybe that's what all my hate's all about. Ugh, this fucking episode. Sorry. Anyone? Steph.
You penis.
You penis.
Hey guys, I'll be right back. I think I hear fire trucks. Hold on.
Oh.
At your house?
They've come to. Well, I don't know. I'm in the basement. Hold on.
Oh, God.
Wow.
Buffy? Oh, Buffy got a haircut? There, that's my quote. Or how about, what was the one? Oh, only an idiot would hook up with someone like you, except for a simpleton like Harmony, or a complete nutsack like Drusilla. That made me laugh.
He said nutsack.
When he said nutsack.
This episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. So did everyone quote? Who wanted to quote? Cool.
We all did. Thanks.
Yeah.
Like I said, I've had a lot of Pepsi Max today, so maybe my mood would be different if I was less caffeinated.
Yeah, see, my mood would be different if I didn't drink a Coke yesterday. When I have high fructose corn syrup, the next day I'm just depressed.
Really?
Wow.
Yes.
Because you don't have it at all anymore.
Right.
Well, my mood would have been a lot different if I didn't watch it before we started recording.
Why would you do that to yourself again?
I'm never going to do that
I'm
again.
worried about you.
Don't
Don't hurt yourself just because it's the only thing that feels real.
I'm kind of glad I only had to watch it once.
I'm gonna go cut my own hair now. Oh, wait a minute. There's not much left. Although I can make ponytails now. It's weird.
It is.
They're gonna go away
Those
next
days.
week, so it doesn't
Hey,
matter.
Steph, what's on the slate for next time?
Next time, it's a very interesting, very interesting. Okay, tell me what you think it's going to be about when I tell you the title.
Gabby's not allowed to say anything
I'm not
because
allowed
she's
to say
already
anything. I
watched it.
Oh, Double Meat Palace.
I think
Double
it's-
Meat Palace?
Yes.
Oh, no.
I think we find out that Dawn is doing porn.
God.
Oh.
I'm
Well,
highly
she's like-
caffeinated. Have I
You
mentioned
know
that?
she's like 12, right? Ugh.
No, she's not. That actress is not 12 years old, is she?
She's like 16 or 17. She's a
Really?
minor.
Was she underaged?
Yeah.
Oh no.
At that time? Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
The age of consent here was 16. Oh wait, it is. I'm good.
You're only 17.
Ew. It's Double Meat Package? Is that what it said?
Palace.
Palace.
Double Meat Palace. Oh, I don't want to know what it's about. One of the Scoobies gets a job at like McDonald's? That's my guess. I guess it was only funny to me.
Interesting.
I have no
Well, I can't
idea.
I can't wait. Well, so we'll be releasing that episode in September. Is that what we're doing? Thanks for being patient with us. We're doing summer hours. So there. There are lots of other podcasts that release more regularly. Intro to X being one of them. Intro2X.com for all your X-Files hate needs.
I feel so bad for Robin because I'm actually liking that show.
I enjoy the show.
Really?
And everybody hates it.
Yeah, I mean, there's part of it that's like, oh, I wish they were nicer about the show because I have the impression that Robin is like,
He's trying.
he's being very. I think Robin is doing his best not to be Michael Douglas in the beginning of that movie, Breaking Down or whatever it is.
Oh,
Falling down.
Falling down. I think he's doing a very good job. I think this will teach him Zen. But no, I mean it's an interesting podcast. I'm a fan of the X-Files.
Mm-hmm. That's why it's difficult when you watch a show that was in its height outside of the time.
Mm-hmm.
It's tough for shows, especially I think sci-fi shows to stand up, or
Yeah.
I think I might feel the same way if I started watching like Star Trek or any one of those. Anyways, yeah.
Yeah, X-Files does not hold up on a first viewing like it
No.
would have, which is problematic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what show holds up every generation? Golden Girls. Watch that show.
Truth.
It's funny now.
True.
Funny then.
Picture
It
this.
is the best show ever.
You know what other show also holds up? Oh, right? Ready? Maude. Makes me laugh
Oh, I love the
out
abortion
loud. Okay,
Yeah.
that is not funny, but it is that is a good show. It holds up and makes me
Yeah.
nearly pee my
I
pants.
thought
laughing
every
so
Jewish man was like Maud's husband growing up. Love that guy. Don't
Love
buy
it.
Premarin. It's made of horse urine.
Loving it.
All right. Hey, thanks for joining us, guest. Oh, wait. We love you guys too much to subject you to this. So there.
Did someone sign up for this and can't make it, or did people purposely not want to sign up?
No, Morgan was signed up, and I didn't even bother asking her.
Remember when being a guest was a hot commodity?
No one gives a shit now. They're all trying to get on Intro to X.
Yeah.
We're the
It's about the illusion of scarcity.
We're not hot anymore.
we're old
Hey,
and busted.
speak for yourself, madame. By the way, you wouldn't be hot. So, I'm gonna end the YouTube broadcast. Thank you for all of you viewing and participating in the YouTube
Sorry,
chat.
you guys.
Hey, it is what it is.
I will
This
not
episode of PotentialCast is now gone. Bye.
Namaste.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Namaste, bitches.
Stuff